he could control me. This rage inside my heart.
Hey guys, what's going on? It's Blazin here, and the long-awaited tier list videos that you guys have been waiting over a year for has finally returned. And this time, we're going to be talking about healers during the race world first, and at the end of the second half of the video, we're going to be talking about kind of what I would tell you to play if you're just looking to get into cutting-edge raiding for the very first time, and what I suggest what kind of healer you should be playing to accomplish that goal. Now, first off, let's go ahead and jump right off into the race world first predictions. All right, let's go check it out. Going to be talking about the pinnacle of Racer World First rating. Okay, this healer has countless times been presented in the Racer World First, even if it's not been played in the top 20 US or top 20 of the real guilds below. This healer has always been at the pinnacle of Racer World First rating in the hands of Zealosus and many other fantastic healers out there. This healer is going to be the Disc Priest. Once again, in 10.2, nothing changes on next Tuesday. This healer is fantastic. Atonement has been buffed. It also brings a DR. It brings barrier. And most of this raid fights are stacked. Alaradar, you're going to be taking pulsing AoE damage. You can simply stand on barrier. Same as fights like Tindril. All the roots come out. You can stand on barrier and Firac, which we haven't seen yet. But most likely, there will be a stacked sort of mechanic that does massive damage to you. Also, this healer has seen a complete rework of the way it's played, make it even easier than ever before to get your ramps done. So that is why this healer is going to be a Giga Chat, and I promise you, Liquid, Echo, and Method, you will see a Disc Priest on every single fight in Tuesday, okay? Next, we're going to go ahead and be talking about the Mistweaver. This healer will be seen. It's the first time in a long time that we've seen, I think since Nyalotha, that we've seen a Mistweaver in the Race World First on a serious level on a lot of fights. Manatee has been reworked. Chi-Chi ramps, Rim ramps has been kind of redone and reworked. The throughput is insane. The tier set is insane. This healer will be played in some form on one of the guilds. Method might not play it. Positive, Liquid, and Echo will be playing this. I was watching Dryny. He was leveling up actually 2 to 3 Mistweavers preparing for splits. So we will see this bad boy in there on Tuesday night. Okay, so very excited. We're actually going to be able to actually see the Mistweaver come into play. Next, we're going to be talking about the Rdruid. Rdruid, I'll just frankly bring it up. It will not be played during the Race World First. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and drop it to the spare. The way the new raid works with how much healing absorbs there are and how much burst damage there is, there's really not time for you to wait for a Rejuve to heal up a shield. You need it done now. You need it done quick. And that's where Mistweaver and Disc Priest and things like that are going to be able to accomplish those goals. Next, we're going to go ahead and be talking about the Shaman. Shaman, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, we're going to add a row, actually, for Shaman alone, and it's going to be called Rsham with question marks, because I'll be real with you, we have no idea kind of what's going on with Shaman. Thune is teasing some things. I think some guilds are hiding some things about Shaman. The throughput is super high, but I guess the mana usage does drain you to oblivion. So Shaman is kind of in the air right now. We kind of have to wait till Tuesday to kind of see where they're at in the tier list. They might be Giga Chad. They might be, you know, up there with Disc Priest, right? We might even see it. We might see Rsham, Disc, Mistweaver, Hpal, or even Holy Priest. I kind of have to see what Shaman looks like on Tuesday. Next, we're going to talk about our B tier, and that's going to be Holy Priest. Holy Priest is going to be in that B tier. It doesn't have as much healing and damage that Discipline brings, or the throughput, burst throughput that Mistweaver brings with his Chi-Chi ramps. However, Holy Priest does bring Salve, it does bring him, and it does bring Symbol, and it does bring a lot of damage with Power Infusion. It's one of those healers that have a ton of utility when it comes to, you have so many healers, you have 2 major healing cooldowns that you can be using. So I think during the Race World First, we probably will see a combination with Holy Priest and Disc Priest. They might both be ran. But regarding their damage and the throughput, they're going to be kind of staying in that B tier. Next, we'll be talking about Holy Paladin. Holy Paladin is also going to be staying in that B tier for the Race World First. They're not terrible. They still bring the Aura Mastery. However, they are the lowest throughput healers right now in the game. They're like literally at the bottom of the barrel. But I really don't think that matters when you have a Disc and you have a Mistweaver. A lot of times, these top-end guilds, Echo and Liquid and Method, they bring the Holy Pally for the utility and also the survive one-shot mechanics that would otherwise kill the raid because you're so low item level going into these final bosses. And having that 20% DR and a click of a button is huge. Like, it's literally a raid-wide personal to everyone. So I do think we will see the Holy Paladin in the race rule first. Now, regarding Preservation Evoker, it's kind of like in the B tier. I think Preservation Evoker, depending on the guild, you might see them replace the Holy Priest. Like, maybe we see Disc, Mistweaver, Preservation Evoker with a Holy Pally. Maybe. Or maybe you see, you know, Disc, Mistweaver, Holy Priest, Hpal. So I think this healer, Preservation, is kind of interchangeable with Holy Priest. So that's why I'm kind of leaving that B tier. It is strong. It has Zephyr. It has Rewind. It does have actually burst healing. It can top off the raid pretty quickly. And Rewind is a very strong ability to get those absorption shields off of you in this race duel first. But I am really putting my bets on kind of the Disc, Mistweaver, Holy Hpal. This is like the kind of 4 healers I'm looking at seeing during the race duel first. If they do bring in 5th healer, it might be Preservation. And like I said, question mark for Rsham. I don't know what's going to be going on with Rsham. Tuesday night, we might see them like this, you know, and then we just leave out, you know, the Holy Priest, you know, and they run this 4. Okay, I don't really know. We have to kind of wait and kind of see what's up with that. So anyways, guys, that's the Race to Roll first section. Thank you so much for watching if you are heading out. Now we are going to be moving over to kind of if you're AOTC healer looking to get a raid spot in a cutting edge guild and kind of what is easiest to play and what I kind of recommend, in my opinion, for you to play. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump right off into it real quick. So now we're going to go ahead and get into the AOTC players looking to get cutting edge for their very first time and what kind of healers they should be looking at playing. So right off the bat, we're going to start with the Holy Priest. It's going to go ahead and be in that Giga Chat category. Holy Priest is a fantastic healer to begin playing if you're looking to get cutting edge for your first time. They bring him, South, Simple, 3 raid cooldowns that are very useful to your raid leader or to the healing officer that you can utilize to your raid. Also, on top of that, you are also, I would consider, a hero healer. What I mean by that is someone, you can GS someone last second, they're about to die. You can life grip people if they're standing in mechanics. You can go over and beyond for your raid team to make sure that you succeed in that raid encounter. They are super strong and they are simple and easy to play healer, and I highly recommend any new player looking to get cutting edge for the first time that you take a look at Holy Priest. Next, we're going to go ahead and move into the Holy Paladin. Holy Paladin is going to be in the A tier as well. They are a little bit lower in the throughput side of things. However, they do bring utility to make up for those things. It's the same thing as Holy Priest, a really like hero type healer to carry your raid. Lay on hands, you can bop, you can sack. On top of that, you can also ensure you can lay on hands people very last second if they're about to die. They bring a ton of utility that's really good for your raid, and also on top of that, the raid cooldown that you bring with Diva Aura Mastery is simplistic, and it pretty much covers the entire raid and makes up for people's individual playing mistakes. If they forget to click a DR, you are covered when you click Aura Mastery. On top of that, a lot of guilds, they sometimes don't have a Protection Pally or Rep Pally, so you'll be able to slot right in there and bring them the Diva Aura that they are looking for. So I highly recommend that you play Holy Pally if you're looking to get cutting edge for your very first time. Next, we're going to go ahead and be talking about the RWF Rdruid. They're going to go ahead and stay in that kind of B tier category right now where they currently are. And the reasoning for that is they bring fantastic throughput to the raid. They can keep everyone top. They can rejuve the entire raid. A little bit more complicated than your average Holy Pally or Holy Priest, but they do get the job done and bring the utility that you need. And especially if you don't have a Boomkin or a Pharaoh Druid for some odd reason, you do bring the raid buff that everyone is looking for. Next, we're going to go ahead and talk about Preservation Evoker. That's going to be in that A tier, especially if you're looking to get into cutting edge, I highly recommend it. You do have a shorter range of heals. It's not as bad as Hpal having to stand in melee or Mistweaver, but you do have to stand a little bit closer than Hpriest. You do bring Rewind, which is a fantastic raid cooldown. You also bring Zephyr and Time Spiral, if that's something your raid leader is looking for. On top of that, Emerald Blossom build is super simple to play and does a huge amount of throughput, so I highly recommend that you go ahead and check out Preservation Evoker if you have not had a chance to. Next, we're going to talk about Mistweaver. It's going to go ahead and be in that C tier category. And the reason for that is you have to know a lot about the damage of the raid encounter itself. And also you have to know Rim ramps, Chi ramps, and how all these ramps work together while you're playing in melee. Also, there's just a lot of things going on for this healer. It's really not forgiving if you mess up your Chi ramp or your rims. It's not forgiving at all. It looks easy to play when you watch other people play it, but when you actually sit down yourself and try it out, there's a lot of things that you need to pay attention to, a lot of weak cores that you need to be tracking in order to get good throughput out of this healer, okay? So that's why I'm going to go ahead and put it in that C tier. You're better off playing something like a Hpal or even a Hpriest. Next, we're going to be talking about Discipline Priest. It does suffer the same fate as Mistweaver. Requires a lot of fight knowledge when you need to prepare your ramps, when you need to get your ramp off, and on top of that, it just requires a lot of the raid team and your raid leader or healing officer to understand what you're trying to accomplish, and that way you don't overlap your healing cooldowns. So it requires you as a new player or new into healing to have a lot of knowledge yourself of what your abilities do and communicate that to your healing officer. So all that kind of like all that information and knowledge that you need, I highly recommend people trying to get cutting edge for the first time, stay far away from Disc Priest. I know it did get reworked, but it's still a very complicated healer to play. Next, we're going to be talking about the RWF Shaman. It's going to be that question mark kind of area. I really don't know what's going to be like till in this upcoming week when I actually get to watch the race roll first and kind of see guilds play RWF Shaman. But as of right now, I would say it is kind of a question mark, kind of if it's, I would normally put them in the Giga Chat section, like they would be right there next to Hpriest. I love RWF Shaman, but with the way the tier set works and you having to riptide people and then hit them with a healing wave, it seems like they really complicated the way RWF Shaman plays, so that's why I'm kind of going to be keeping there in the question mark area. And like I said, Rdruid is going to be staying in that B tier. So anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching this video. I deeply appreciate it. And thank you to all the healers out there from the top end guilds that said hi to me at BlizzCon. I deeply appreciate all of you guys. And thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe and leave a like down below. Take care. Peace out.